It's the best-selling roadster of all time. It's infinitely moddable, it's cheap, and it's one of the happiest gosh darn cars to ever roam the streets. This is a car that gave a whole new generation the opportunity to relive the glory days of the legendary British sports cars of yesteryear, minus the countless hours being broken down on the side of the road. And there's nothing quite like ripping one of these around in the twisties topless. Whether you're looking to dominate at autocross, tear it up at the track, run around off-road, or just maximize your smiles per gallon on the daily commute, the Miata is always the answer. I'm Brad, this is Ideal, and this is why you need a Mazda Miata before it's too late. And be sure to stick around until the end because I'll let you know what the ideal Miata is. Let's go! The Mazda Miata. It was first introduced in 1989 with the aim of reviving the spirit of classic lightweight British roadsters of the 1960s, like the MGB and the Lotus Elan. Now, the philosophy behind the Miata was to offer an affordable, fun-to-drive, lightweight sports car, placing the focus on the joy of driving above all else. Its design was based on the principle Jinba Itai, a Japanese term meaning horse and rider as one, which emphasizes the seamless connection between the driver and the car. Now, Mazda delivered on their philosophy by giving the Miata a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, a crisp manual trans that's only second to Porsche, and the suspension and handling that will have you throwing the car in the twisties every single chance that you get. Now, throughout its production history, the Miata has faced competition from various sports cars, but its unique proposition as a lightweight two-seater roadster set it apart from most of its rivals. Sure, Honda was delivering track weapons in the 90s like the Integra, but that car was front-wheel drive. BMW, Audi, and Porsche were making proper roadsters, but they all required hugely expensive repairs and maintenance, not to mention a way higher price tag. Now, the Miata found its sweet spot as a low-cost car that was just as fun as its more powerful and more expensive competitors. And on the subject of power, there's no denying the Miata always has been a featherweight under the hood, but it's also a featherweight in its overall, well, weight. You see, Mazda took the philosophy of Colin Chapman to heart, who, if you didn't know, he's the man behind Lotus, which was simply more power makes you faster in the straights, but less weight makes you faster everywhere else. And so, Mazda Miatas have always come in tipping the scales just a little over 2,000 pounds. You could put any modern BMW M on Ozempic and they'd still not even come close. But what truly set the Miata apart and makes it special to drive is its unparalleled driving experience. You see, the car's lightweight construction, perfect weight distribution, and rear-wheel drive layout contribute to its incredible handling and responsiveness. The precise and communicative steering provides an intimate connection between the driver and the road, delivering a sense of control and joy that is hard to replicate in other cars. And hey, there's nothing more fun than driving around topless! Whether navigating winding roads or simply cruising around town, the Miata provides an engaging and enjoyable experience that few other cars can match. If you value the pure joy of driving, appreciate a timeless and sleek roadster design, and a seek of a thrilling, accessible sports car experience, well, the Mazda Miata could be an excellent addition to your life. Its combination of well-balanced handling, a driver-focused interior, and the sense of connection it fosters between driver and car make the Miata one of the best cars that you can buy for any price. So, you gotta be asking yourself, what's not ideal? Well, let's pass it off to Trav.
While there's not too much to get in the way of owning and enjoying your Miata, if you're looking at NAs, NBs, heck even NCs, you're looking at cars that could be 20 or 30 years old. Rocker panel rust is a common problem. Anything like rubber hoses and belts, bushings, even the engine mounts might need replacement. And like any used drop top, it's important to inspect the top carefully for any leaks or tears. The biggest, and from my experience, most common problem these cars have mechanically are the lash adjusters. It doesn't seem to be an issue on the ND, but the older neglected Miatas are notorious for lifter tick. It's usually nothing to worry about, but it can take some of the shine out of the experience. As far as actual performance goes, so long as suggested maintenance has been done, there really shouldn't be anything stopping you from driving like you stole it every single day. But hey, a compression test probably wouldn't hurt. The only other things that might steer you away from a Miata purchase have to do with the Miata itself. It's only got 2 seats, and it doesn't have a ton of space in the trunk. But hey, less people calling you up to give rides, and you can always get creative with transporting stuff. Just give the Miata Logistics subreddit a look.
Now, unless you've got yourself a rare Mazda Speed Miata, the Miata you're gonna buy is powered by a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and the ceiling on power is pretty low on the stock engine. But hey, people don't buy a Miata for power. Though, if you wanna go crazy, you can bolt on a turbo or supercharger, or go wild with a total engine swap. But the best mods for your Miata are gonna be a nice set of lightweight wheels, grippy tires, suspension upgrade to dial in the already excellent handling to make it an absolutely heavenly ride. That said, depending on what your goals are, the aftermarket is virtually endless, from off-road kits, weight-saving body panels, bolt-on forced induction. I mean, you really can transform this thing into basically anything with a little money and time. Speaking of time, we're running late on what's the ideal car. Now, back when the Miata was introduced, it sold for a little under $14,000. But remember, this was the 90s, and if you adjust that to today's money, it actually wasn't too far off from a brand new Miata costing roughly $28,000. Now, the used market, it's a little all over the place. And of course, it all depends on if you have your heart set on a classic like an NA, or you want something a little bit more modern like an NC or ND. But if you're just looking at your local Craigslist or marketplace ads, prices are hovering around 5 to 7K for a decent NA or NB. You can find them cheaper, but it will probably require some delayed maintenance and significant rust repair. If you see anything like this though, stay away. Now, a decent NC can be had for less than 9, but if you want the power hardtop, you know you're gonna be paying a big premium. And if you really want a truly modern car and are considering NDs, just know that you won't find anything worth driving home for less than around 15 grand. And if you're looking at spending that much, it might just be worth considering buying one right from the dealer. But the ideal Miata that I would use the ideal car strategies on, that you can check out our free workshop on down below, well, I've mentioned it a couple of times already, but the Mazda Speed Miata was truly a special machine. It's the only Miata that ever came turboed right from the factory, and Mazda Speed wasn't messing around. They threw in a limited slip diff, tighter upgraded suspension, wider tires, and lightweight racing wheels, not to mention the aggressive body kit. Sadly, due to a factory fire, only about 6,000 units were ever produced in 2 years, but you can still find them in excellent condition for under 20 grand. Now, yes, that ain't cheap, but for a unicorn piece like the Mazda Speed Miata, it's only poised to appreciate so long as you don't send it too hard to rack up too many miles. So if you treat it like an investment that you can rip around on weekend getaways, it's ideal. Now, a low mileage, well-kept Mazda Speed in titanium gray with a snail that's ready to whistle and handling that could outmaneuver a cheetah, that's an ideal buy. So if you appreciate a car that delivers tons of miles per gallon, is perfectly compact, and will be your dance partner on wheels, well, you know what car to buy. The Miata, it's ageless, just like your favorite pair of jeans or that classic rock song. It'll always be a favorite amongst enthusiasts and non-enthusiasts alike. Even your hairdresser might like it. Plus, your wallet will thank you, since this spunky little roadster delivers tons of fun without breaking the bank. And that is why you need a Mazda Miata. Now, if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to Ideal and turn on that notification bell, and check out this Ideal vid up here, or whatever YouTube recommends you watch next. I'm Brad, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing: keep living the ideal lifestyle.